Water pollution comes from point sources and non-point sources. Point sources are specific locations such as factories, and non-point sources pollute the water through runoff from different places. Agricultural activities are the leading cause of water pollution. The sediments eroded from agricultural lands are the largest source, and other agricultural pollutants include fertilizers and pesticides. The second major source of water pollution is from industrial facilities because they emit harmful inorganic and organic chemicals. Lastly, the third major source of water pollution is mining. Mining includes surface mining, and that disturbs the land, creating major erosion of sediments and runoff of toxic chemicals.
The Hindu religion encourages a damaging water pollution problem in India. Many unburned or partially burnt bodies are dumped into the Ganges River, where large numbers of these bodies deplete dissolved oxygen and add disease-carrying bacteria and viruses to the water. Urban sprawl and religious practices increase the pollution entering what would otherwise be clean water sources. Non-point runoff of pesticides and fertilizers are fueled by population growth and now surpass industrial pollution as the greatest threat to the lakes. Once in these lakes, pharmaceutical pollution cannot be removed. Escherichia coli can be tested and found in sewage. Furthermore, non-point pollution sources are impossible to target and come from collective sites such as runoff from parking lots, whereas ballast water from a vessel is considered a point source because it is easily identified. Eutrophication is the name given to the natural nutrient enrichment from runoff and increased phosphorus and nitrogen in waters, or simply put, the addition of excess nutrients. The oxygen demanded by decomposers in this process is called the biochemical oxygen demand. An oligotrophic lake is low in nutrients and high in oxygen, resulting in clear water. It can easily be contaminated if not taken care of. These lakes and reservoirs are generally less effective at diluting pollutants than streams due to minimal mixing of nutrients and no water flow. This leads to biomagnification of chemicals in waterways.
Common pollutants such as fertilizers, pesticides, gasoline, and organic solvents can seep into groundwater from numerous sources. Toxic arsenic contaminates drinking water when a well is drilled into aquifers where soils and rocks are naturally rich in arsenic. Treating a contaminated aquifer involves eliminating the source of pollution and drilling monitoring wells to determine how far, in what direction, and how fast the contaminated plume is moving. Several major U.S. cities have avoided building expensive water treatment facilities by investing in protection of their forests and wetlands in the watersheds that provide their water.
Most of the oil that ends up in our oceans comes from runoff, not boats. Runoff is a big contributor to water pollution. By reducing runoff, we can reduce water pollution. Most runoff originates from agricultural sources. Federal laws can help regulate point source pollution, but are ineffective on non-point sources. Another way to reduce water pollution is through sewage treatment. Treating sewage reduces the water pollution by cleaning water before it re-enters the hydraulic cycle.
There are many new innovations to improve conventional water treatment, such as using compost toilets. This way, you could turn human fecal matter into rich humus and even sell it as a soil conditioner. They also save large amounts of water, reduce water bills, and decrease the amount of energy used to pump and purify water. Wetland-based sewage treatment systems, otherwise called living machines, utilize an increasingly complex system of organisms to filter out water. With the cost as equivalent to or less than conventional water treatment, it is an effective method in developing countries where water is short and disease is common. Wetlands could replace devastated coastal marshlands, which were economically and ecologically vital natural resources.
80 to 90% of municipal waste is from coastal developing countries. According to the United Nations Environment Program, coastal water pollution costs the world $16 billion annually. Of the world's largest metropolitan areas, 14 are near coastal waters. Coastal populations are expected to double in 2050.